Maya Johnson had always been a driven woman. From a young age, she had learned the value of hard work, perseverance, and never allowing anyone to define her by her skin color. Raised in a working-class neighborhood, Maya had been told by her parents that the world could be a harsh place for someone who looked like her, but that she should never let it deter her from reaching her dreams. She was determined to prove everyone wrong and to succeed on her own terms. After years of battling stereotypes and breaking through glass ceilings, Maya had finally secured an interview for a position at one of the top tech firms in the city, Drake Industries. The morning of her interview, Maya wore her best suit, a tailored navy blue dress with a white blouse underneath. Her hair was neatly styled in a professional bun, and she had prepared for every question she could anticipate. She knew that this opportunity could change her life forever. The position she was applying for was one that many women in her field aspired to: Chief Technology Officer, CTO. It would be a challenging role, but Maya felt ready for it. She had been the lead developer on several high-profile projects in her previous company and had a reputation for turning the most complex ideas into innovative solutions. As she arrived at Drake Industries' sleek glass building, Maya felt a surge of excitement. She had worked for this moment for years, and now it was finally within reach. She was ushered into a pristine conference room with polished wood floors and a long, oval table at the center. The interview panel consisted of 5 individuals, including the CEO, Mr. Richard Drake. Maya smiled as she greeted them. The panel appeared cordial, but there was a palpable sense of unease in the room. She sat down, poised, ready to answer any question that came her way. Mr. Drake began the interview with standard pleasantries, asking her about her background and experience. Maya answered each question with confidence, highlighting her technical expertise and leadership abilities. As the conversation shifted to more personal topics, however, the tone of the interview began to change. "Tell us, Maya," Mr. Drake said, his voice dripping with condescension. "What do you think you can bring to the table as a woman in this predominantly male industry? How do you think you'll be able to handle the pressure?" Maya's heart skipped a beat. She had been asked about her race and gender in interviews before, but never in such a blunt and belittling way. She kept her composure, but the question lingered in the air like a slap to her face. "I believe that leadership is about more than gender or race," she replied, her voice steady but firm. "It's about vision, problem-solving, and motivating a team to achieve its goals. I've demonstrated my capabilities in several high-stakes projects, and I am confident that I can bring the same level of dedication and success to your company." The room fell silent for a moment. Mr. Drake raised an eyebrow, but said nothing further. Instead, one of the other panel members, a senior executive named Laura, jumped in. "That's all well and good, Maya," Laura said, her tone skeptical. "But how do you plan to navigate the challenges of being a woman of color in a male-dominated field? Do you think your presence here might cause some friction?" Maya could feel the heat rising in her cheeks, but she refused to let them see her discomfort. She had been asked similar questions before, and she knew how to answer them without being deterred. "I don't believe my race or gender will cause friction," she responded. "I believe in the power of diverse perspectives, and I have always found that collaboration leads to better solutions. My track record speaks for itself, and I'm confident that I can add value to your company." As the interview went on, the questions became more pointed, and Maya began to feel that the panel's focus had shifted from her qualifications to her identity. Despite her best efforts to steer the conversation back to her experience and skills, the panel continued to ask questions that were nothing short of offensive. They questioned whether Maya could truly handle the demands of the job, despite her extensive qualifications, simply because of the color of her skin and her gender. When the interview concluded, Maya left the room feeling humiliated. She had expected to face difficult questions, but not the outright discrimination that had been leveled against her. As she walked back to the elevator, she could hear the whispers of the panel behind her. But just as she was about to step into the elevator, a voice called out to her. "Miss Johnson." It was Mr. Drake. He stood in the doorway of the conference room, his face unreadable. "Can I speak with you for a moment?" Maya turned to face him, trying to mask the disappointment that was evident in her eyes. "Of course, Mr. Drake," she said, her voice professional but strained.